Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
What a message. What a beautiful message today. I brought some dates from you know where, the region, and they're somewhat fancy. They were put together by a mother and daughter business owners in Scottsdale, and who are friends as well, and I share it as a gift. I met with one of the ambassadors from Italy today, and I gave her this. So I think it's ancient gift, right? Wonderful. The opportunity, when I came to Scottsdale, I was a young man. I had an architecture degree, and I knew nobody in Scottsdale. I did not have any family. We're an old Tucson family. And I had the opportunity to apprentice with an architect who designed the city hall, and that gave me some recognition because people thought, wow, you must be good if you're working for him. But I did bring faith in God. And I see that today as well. Anyway, I was very fortunate. I got married, we had 2 children, and at 20 years after getting here, I became a city councilman. And one of the first projects which came forward was on a piece of desert land. People had a vision for it. And again, similar to wherever you had referred to in Medina and elsewhere, my family's a very old Tucson family. And the vision of the group was this property. And now it's 40 years later. Isn't that well, it's 20 years later since this project was approved. I had never been inside a mosque, and I knew the need was there. We also had a Jewish community center that was also being requested off Scottsdale Road. That occurred just before I got elected. And then this project came forward. There was some pushback and questioning about it being too close to a school or whatever else was being discussed. And there were people in support speaking, as well as those opposed for technical reasons. I was chairman of the meeting, and at one point we took a break. There was water for guests and everybody, and a gentleman came up to me, and I don't know why, but anyway, he said, it's time for prayer. And we were at City Hall, and he said, well, can you make a space for us? And I said, I was actually walking out in the Kiva more, which is the assembly area, and I knew there was a communications office, so I went over and I said, hey, can you clear out for a bit? And I think there were about 10, and some of them may be one of you, I don't know. And we closed the door. Nobody knew. Didn't matter. It was important. And you never know why you're out in the crowd or walking, because I could have stayed up there, right? But it was appropriate. And it was approved. Later there was some other question about parapets and this and that. So 20 years later, I'm mayor. And I'm very happy to serve everyone. And I think that's so important that the investment that we make is, body, mind, and spirit. People come to Arizona from everywhere. As it happened, I have 4 sisters, and my second sister fell in love at the University of Arizona with an engineer who could not return to his country because of Gaddafi. And he was a very brilliant engineer, an aeronautical engineer, and he could not be hired in the United States because of his nationality. Anyway, they were married, and he opened a Mediterranean restaurant and was very successful in Tucson. But they decided when things settled down to move back to his home country. Actually, Salma, Mohammed, and Ibrahim were born in Tucson, and those are my nieces and nephews. And when I say that, that was really before I was elected councilman. That was in 2000. And of course, they're now grown adults, and my sister is a professor in Tripoli. And at one point they had danger, and it had to do with the situation with Gaddafi and this and that, and they asked for help. And of course, we made sure that they could get to Malta, and there was danger that, for that. But Uncle Dave, that's me, and we helped them every way we could, and they escaped that situation. When things settled down, they returned, and she's been a professor there in Tripoli at the university for some time. So that's and she's wonderful. Monica is and now she's a grandparent, so very happy that we have Yosef and Mina. But life is full, and later I even met some of my cousins who I had not known, my father's cousins and their families here in the valley. So it was very, very fruitful to say, oh, and I met an Ortega, and actually we were giving an award and she said, well, I used to be an Ortega. I said, well, no, once an Ortega, always an Ortega. And sure enough, she knew my father, and my father had, my grandfather was one of 11 here in Arizona. So that's a beautiful thing, and I think maybe we're all cousins. So there's only 10 of them in here. And next time we'll bring more, maybe you can cut them up and have 40 out of this, okay? But really, I praise you. I'm very glad that the communities are speaking, and I have had many clients and other friends, so I want to know more and continue to pray for my family wherever we are in the world, and for your families too.
Thank you. Thank you.